Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently going up. I mean, we have seen quite a bit of an impulsive move here currently to the upside in the triangle, however, still. So no breakout signal yet. I've seen already some of the crypto channels that put the crazy heads into the thumbnails already talking about an emergency breakout. We're going to take a look at that. And overall, the market following Bitcoin, yeah, everything going up a little bit here. Cardano, very interesting. So I'll of course do a Cardano video as well. That they are currently crossing quite a significant level. And generally, last few days seem to be interesting for crypto, absolutely. But the question is, is it already the sustainable breakout? I, as you know, have my doubts here, but we are prepared on this channel for all scenarios. So Bitcoin is currently likely, or it seems to be breaking out of this triangle. So we had this triangle, yes, we put it on the chart, this orange triangle, yeah. So of course, the main one is this white symmetrical triangle. You can see that here. Yesterday, I told you that we could potentially think about having this orange one as well as a valid triangle where you have 1, 2 touch points down here. You've got 1, 2, maybe 3 touch points up there. Not sure how valid that is, yeah, but if we draw it like that, then you can actually see that we moved out of that triangle. We actually pumped quite a lot to 43.4k. Seems to be that the buyers weren't ready yet. Pushback, but at the moment it seems like we did retest, or we are retesting that former resistance of that triangle, yeah, as support. So that is quite good. If that holds, yeah, that can be good. And then we can start to move from here higher. In the next instance would then be, if this level can hold, which is around 42.1k, then we could move in the next instance to 44.5k. And the last main level I'm watching out for is that 45.5k level. And if we really break out from here, then it is quite likely that we're actually going to get into this alternative target area up there. There it is, between 55 and 65k in a wave B, whereas I would believe that here we are going to get exhausted and then going to come down once more, or in that final sell-off then come down. But as I said, everything that is happening here in this triangle, in this white triangle, it doesn't really tell us too much about what is going to happen next. Yes, we are coming closer to the resistance, but we were also very close to the support before and didn't break out. And we need to be still patient. It's good to see prices going up, absolutely. But first of all, I would like to see the price go down first. Otherwise, it will just be an extended correction. It will just take a long time if we go up first and then come down. I just don't want to see that. It just takes time. It will get a bit draining. People will get burnt again. So I really like to see that immediate sell-off. But if it doesn't happen, then we have to get used to the idea that we get up first and then come down again, because we haven't seen a lower low. Bitcoin hasn't made that lower low. It hasn't come yet into this yellow target area. This would then have to happen if we, when we come back finally down, yeah, because you need those lower lows. I did explain that in previous videos. You need this. This is an expanded flat that I'm looking at here. Running flats are extremely untypical. What is a running flat? A running flat would mean that that wave C here, in which we currently are, in my opinion, could already be finished because it ends above a wave A. But you typically don't find that pattern. You just don't find it, especially not in a degree, in a wave degree or a correction like this, and especially not in the crypto market. So therefore I find that highly unlikely, and my primary expectation still remains that we're going to exit this triangle here to the downside, even though it seems like we just broke out of this orange one, but you're already coming down quite a lot. So maybe it was just a fake out, but it's too early to say that. At the moment it seems like it's holding, and if it's holding and you see the volume, the next target would be that 44.5k level. However, we are also still in this green zone here, and that ends at 42.6k. Yeah, this is that previous high. At the moment, you can see that Bitcoin has not broken out of this previous high. Briefly, yes, but it couldn't hold it. So ideally, you also retest that previous high, and it didn't do it yet. So for now, if you can see where the candle is and the closed candle, the current price action, it is still below the previous high, and we're here on the 4-hour chart. So that wick becomes less meaningful. Okay, that's on the 4-hour chart. Let's take a look at what the 1-day chart is doing. So daily chart, we can see bullish momentum going up. Yeah, we typically see that when Bitcoin is starting to go up and pumping and so on. So you see the momentum going up after we had a bit of a, I think potentially, did we have a bullish divergence? Not really, I don't see one here necessarily. So we didn't have a bullish divergence, but the momentum, the bullish momentum is increasing without surprise because the price action is going up. We again have an increase in bullish momentum on the MACD. Yeah, so this is often where it's decided on the Bitcoin chart where things are heading. And let's take a look at the important, not the weekly, but the 4-day chart. Yeah, and here on the 4-day chart, we did have obviously our bullish crossover here already a few weeks ago. That is quite significant, and that supports obviously higher prices. We talked about that. It doesn't mean it needs to get there, but it supports higher prices, and therefore that higher price target is certainly a realistic one, but still primarily because we still are in a downtrend and we haven't broken out really to the upside of that white triangle. My primary expectation has to remain that we're going to break here to the downside. So unless we really break above 45.5K, for me, nothing changes. And if we break above 45.5K and I see the volume come in, and ideally I want to retest above of this 45.5K level, then I will open a long position. I told you that. Of course, to do that, I have to be in front of the screen here. If I miss it, at least you know that that was my plan and you can come to your own conclusions if you want to do that, because the view is if we break above that 45.5K level, then we can get at least, in my opinion, to 55K. Yeah, and that would be also my first price take profit target. That would be a 22% without leverage. Of course, if you take leverage, which I don't do, I don't recommend, then that can be higher. 61 would be my next take profit target, and then 65 probably the last one. Yeah, that's where we are at the moment. Nothing too crazy, even though we saw a bit of a pump, but always bear in mind, we had these strong moves here before. End of January, beginning of February, we were rejected. We had it end of February, we were rejected, and now we have it end of March. And again, remember the chart pattern that I showed you. It was this A, B, C, D, where you then would come up in your wave E. This is still one that is absolutely valid as well, where in that wave E we could come all the way up to the wave C at around 45.5K. And if that chart pattern is valid, then based on the Elliott Wave count, you would typically exit the triangle to the opposite side. So that's what I am looking at here at the moment as well. And yeah, that's my view here on Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thank you. Bye-bye.